Start has become a lot more important now.
And we are off for the Thor Nationals. And Bailey looking into his crystal ball. It's Ricky Carmichael and Sean Hamlin going to the front for the whole shot.
It looked like Wyndham got caught sleeping at the gate. So a bad start. This is the kind of start Reed needed, and Wyndham somehow snuck. I don't know. That was a miracle the way he went around the first corner to get himself into that position. He was about 15th going into the first corner. Villeman was way back as well, and he came out in good shape.
Well, we've talked about the confidence for Chad Reed, number 22 on the Yamaha. This is exactly what he needs, running with the big dogs. It's Carmichael in first, number 4. Number 14, Kevin Wyndham in second, and then number 22, Chad Reed running in third.
This is just what Chad needs to do, is get a chance to ride with these guys, and he's going to learn from the two fastest riders in the world right now. Kevin, in these early laps, is dangerous. He can take it to Ricky. As soon as you give Ricky a, I don't know, a 50-yard lead or so, he just you cannot seem to close that in. But in the early laps, he's very vulnerable, especially to a guy with fast as Kevin Wyndham.
And this is something we haven't seen a lot of, Ricky Carmichael getting hole shots. Usually it's Carmichael in third or fourth working his way up through the pack and picking people off. But now Carmichael has the lead on the first lap. Kevin Wyndham, number 14 in second, is starting to threaten.
Little mistake there by Carmichael. Kevin setting him up.
Carmichael on left, Wyndham on the right of your screen, and it's Wyndham taking the inside line. Ricky Carmichael loses it, and Carmichael comes right back but cannot close the door. We'll see the power they both got going up the hill, and it's back to Carmichael, number 4.
Wow, look at that. Carmichael just muscling his way back into the lead right there. Great move by Wyndham, but even a better move by Carmichael to come back in there and stop it. Keith Johnson already out of the race. Too bad for him, but look at the lead these guys already have. I think the best thing for Carmichael right now to keep Reed off of his tail is the fact that Kevin entered the series. Now he's so busy trying to beat him, he's putting distance on Chad.
Well, no question about it, as Ricky goes for a tear-off there. Number 4, your leader, Carmichael, having some psychological problems with Chad Reed during the Supercross season, just could not get his number. Now he's got to deal with Kevin Wyndham, and maybe that's the best thing for Carmichael. The champion, the defending champ here right now, looking very good, and if you can pull away from Kevin Wyndham, you're doing something right, and Wyndham just keeps coming right back.
Now he's making Ricky's got to go over there and protect that inside. He's thinking about Kevin back there, and, you know, going back to the start, the fact that he got the hole shot so far, that might have made some of the difference. Plus, it's going up a hill, and that 450 is so fast, you can't even open it all the way up, or you'll wheelie.
During the Supercross season, I would have said something like this with Chad Reed behind Ricky is going to cause problems, but for Kevin Wyndham, it almost makes Ricky ride better.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's more worried about Kevin getting all this. Listen to the people. That's pretty. Sorry, Ricky, but so a lot of that is for Kevin right now. Not because they don't like Ricky, just because it's so refreshing and they're so excited to see Kevin come back and do so well. We knew he could, but the fact that he's actually doing it makes it that much more exciting, and Ricky's over it. He's like, hey, I'm going for the all-time winningest record. Everyone's cheering for the wrong guy.
Carmichael right now sitting at 89 victories, tied with the great Jeremy McGrath, looking for 90 today, and he's got his hands full with number 14, Kevin Wyndham out of Centerville, Mississippi, on board the Honda Factory Connection ride, looking very good. Here's a young man who took over a year off from the circuit, and here he is pushing the defending champion. Your leader, number 4, man on the Motos.
And, you know, for the riders that drive, they're definitely in a good battle with each other. It's hard to tell if they're friends or not, by what they say anyways. There's the gap. Wyndham, the new leader. Ricky, the lap, usually right after he makes a mistake, he just puts together a solid lap to get back in there and not give. You cannot let Kevin get confident or feel comfortable out there. He'll go even faster, and then it'll be really tough for Ricky to catch him.
So number 4, Ricky Carmichael, the factory ride Honda, is in second place. Kevin Wyndham has inherited first place, and it's just as David Bailey said it, Ricky Carmichael is turning over a very fast lap. David, with this track with so much off camber, does it favor one of these two riders more?
You know, that's a great question, Todd, and the fact that there are so many off cambers that are tough to get stopped for, I'd like to think that the 250 or even the 125 guys, but the 250 is going to be a little easier to stop. That 450, that motor's bigger, you got a little bit more inertia and gyro effect, and we try to lay that thing over and go the other way. It still wants to keep going straight, a little more than a 250 would.
Kevin Wyndham absolutely lighting up the track with a 218.051. For more on that, let's check in with Cameron Steele, who's with John Hyland.
Ride a little tight or get arm pump or whatever, and he seems to be immune to that during his comeback, which is great because that allows him to ride at his potential, and Kevin's potential is pretty impressive.
Well, that last graphic really tells the tale of the domination of Ricky Carmichael. His last overall loss came back in 2001 of July. That's almost 2 years ago, so the guy does not know that taste. and certainly does not want it back. Carmichael sitting in second right now, trying to reel in Wyndham, almost too close on that last corner.
Up the big uphill. You think Ricky's got the corner speed. He's got to have that corner speed and get in there and just plow, because he's going to get pulled a little bit up those big hills. So far, he's been able to make up a little bit more than he's losing. Wow, that's jumping down those stairs. It's so off camber right there that your front end bottoms out and the front end deflects because you're landing on an off camber. It's one of the sections that just takes sheer strength. There's nothing fun about that section. It's just pure technical. Look at that, the aggressiveness of Ricky. He wants to lead back right now. He's not satisfied to be patient.
Carmichael launches himself back into first place, and Kevin Wyndham has to concede. Carmichael extremely fast, as David pointed out, turning a 2:16 on the last lap, and it's Carmichael, after a short fall, brief time in the dirt here at Mount Morris, back on top, and now it's Kevin Wyndham's turn to try to reel in Carmichael.
Yeah, it's hard to say if Kevin didn't just go, you know what?
David Bailey and Cameron Steele. Race number 1, it's Ricky Carmichael. Ricky Carmichael on the final lap is your leader.
And you don't see Kevin Wyndham back there anymore. He's there, he's pretty close, but not really close enough. This was the pass for the lead. Over the finish line jump, Ricky just sails out to the flat, bam, lands hard. He's strong enough to absorb those kinds of impacts. Just cuts off Kevin's line and lets him know, hey, you know what? You're not going to beat me again. You might think you can, but you're not going to. And he's pulled away just to prove it.
There's Carmichael now coming into some lap traffic, and these guys are going to be thinking, you got to be kidding me. Carmichael already?
Yeah, especially for Nathan Ramsey just up ahead of Ricky, but he had a broken femur, and he's still not quite up to par. He'll get it together.
Well, Carmichael continues to move through traffic and pick up yet another victory, this time the first race at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. High Point Raceway. You're
even harder than the first moto. Messes you up. When the guy next to you does that, it ruins your concentration, but Carmichael nailed it again.
So Carmichael gets his second consecutive hole shot after picking one up in moto number 1. Carmichael comes back and repeats in moto 2. Kevin Wyndham knows exactly how dangerous this is, and it's deja vu all over again. Carmichael, Wyndham, and Chad Reed going 1, 2, and 3 here at the start of moto number 2.
Both Ricky and Wyndham deciding to double that big tunnel jump right in front of Chad and Villerman. Chad was doing it, but he decided to lay up on the start, play it safe. Didn't lose much time. He's still in contact. I don't think he's going to lose contact with these guys like he did the first moto. He's going to see that. I think he's pretty frustrated with the way things went. He didn't look too happy. He and Tim Ferry were giving each other a dirty look after the first moto, so he's perhaps got a little more motivation this time. And Wyndham, once again, real dangerous in these early laps, forcing Ricky to ride perfect.
Kevin Wyndham, number 14 on the factory connection Honda, the big 4-stroke, able to give him some great pulls on those long straightaways. Ricky Carmichael a little more agile. He is on the 2-stroke. Number 4, your leader, Carmichael here in moto number 2.
Now we heard Kevin talk about the second moto is the more important moto of the two, so that whoever gets this moto win gets the overall. This is where Kevin made his move on Ricky in the last moto on the first lap.
There's history in the making. Ricky Carmichael looking for number 90, which would put him ahead of Jeremy McGrath with overall victories. Currently tied with 89 with the great Jeremy McGrath, and Kevin Wyndham trying to spoil the party on both fronts.
Whoa, Ricky jumping in there a little crooked. You can see how off camera that all is. Look at Kevin just running over Ricky's foot everywhere. If he was to get the overall, it'd be just about as amazing as Ricky getting his 90th.
Well, the folks at Honda have to be happy with this. Both of them out in front. Carmichael 1, Wyndham number 2. Chad Reed starting to lose contact with these guys once again. And David, is it just the speed and experience of Carmichael and Wyndham?
I think it's the absolute pure riding ability of Kevin Wyndham and the intensity of Ricky Carmichael. These two have just, look at this. Nice move by Kevin.
Wyndham makes a big run on the outside, does not cover the inside, and Carmichael comes right back.
Yeah, Ricky was able to see what was going on there and decided to just lay up and cut back to the inside. Kevin, I think, knew it.
He used so much throttle going into that turn.
Yeah, he knew Ricky was going to square back under him. That's why he was able to save it when they made contact. Ricky going for the double. Kevin lays it up. Every time Ricky gets away from him, Kevin reels him back in, so he's not right in time.
Man, it's 2 weeks in a row. I'm a little bummed out about it now.
That's too bad for John. And the next round at Southwick will be a track that will be great for him, and he was building some momentum heading into that, but now he's just got to sit and watch. And it's good. If you're going to watch one, this is the one to watch.
Certainly worth the price of admission. Carmichael on the left. He will lose the lead. No, he won't. He squares it off. Kevin Windham put himself in a perfect position, and Windham comes right back. Look at this. Carmichael is in the lead. Windham is in second. David, have you seen racing this close for a long time?
Not in a while. Ricky's probably like, hey, get away from me, man. I'm supposed to be pulling away when I ride this hard. And this time, Chad Reed, like I was thinking, he's right there watching it.
Well, Kevin Windham talked to Cameron Steele after the first moto about riding tight. Certainly not doing that here. He is right on the back end of Ricky Carmichael, your leader, moto number 2. We'll be back with more here at Mount Morris.
Looks like a little kid there. He shedded some weight, got a lot more serious, refined his skills, and has been unstoppable 89 times.
Carmichael.
On the team, Honda has the same scenario with Ricky and Kevin, and look how far ahead they are.
Carmichael takes a look over to find out exactly where Kevin Windham is. This is the final lap, moto number 2 from Mount Morris, Pennsylvania, and I think Carmichael can start to feel it.
Well, he had to work for it today, and 90 wins. It's amazing. It's going to be tough for anybody to catch that, and I would imagine next year he'll be going after 100 or maybe more than that, and putting up Richard Petty kind of numbers.
Ricky Carmichael and Team Honda have something to be proud of. 90 overall victories. More importantly, today, he picks up a 1-1 finish. So for Carmichael, it's been a great weekend here at Mount Morris, High Point Raceway. The Thor Nationals have been very, very good to him, and he will remember this weekend for a long time. But Ricky said at the start of the show, David, the most important thing is the title.
Oh, that's all under control right now. He keeps looking over to see where Kevin is. He's got one straightaway to go for the checkered flag, but he's won every moto except the first moto at Hangtown when Kevin checked out. With the points lead he has now, he can afford to let Kevin go sometime.
Pound for pound, the most tenacious, fastest rider on the planet, number 4.